Hello, and welcome to the first engagement for the athletic field availability and utilization process, a priority action in the Public Spaces Master Plan. In this presentation, you will learn about current uses of athletic fields in Arlington, how fields are allocated among different user groups, and the three focus areas that will help inform a framework for athletic field availability. After you finish watching, we invite you to share your thoughts through an online feedback form. Our goal is to use your feedback to develop a new framework for field availability in Arlington.
Let's start by reviewing the Public Spaces Master Plan. The Public Spaces Master Plan, or PSMP, is one of 11 elements in the county's comprehensive plan. The PSMP guides planning for parks, natural resources, and other public spaces. Work and engagement on the PSMP update began in 2016 and concluded with County Board adoption in April 2019. At the time of adoption, 11 priority actions were identified in the PSMP. Athletic field availability and utilization was identified as a top 5 action by the County Board. Priority action number 4 is to study, analyze, and improve athletic field data in the county. After creating an athletic field availability framework, this can be used to inform athletic field level of service. The entire priority action is listed on this slide for you to see. Why study athletic field availability and utilization? The first step in assessing athletic field needs is to determine the total number of available hours for use and build a framework for athletic field availability. Building this framework includes agreed upon start and end times for organized activities, a full understanding of athletic field scheduling variables, or the factors that affect the ability to schedule athletic fields, such as field lighting, an examination and update to the current definition of drop-in time and drop-in fields, and an understanding of the total available hours on athletic fields. Understanding the variables that affect the ability to schedule fields will help create the framework for athletic field utilization. The definition of Arlington's athletic field availability is the agreed upon hours that athletic fields in Arlington are available, after incorporating field scheduling variables. Athletic field availability serves as the bookends or agreed upon start and stop times for activities on each athletic field in our inventory. Availability is informed by field scheduling variables, or factors that affect field scheduling. A few are listed on this slide. Now that we've provided an overview of the PSMP and draft definitions of athletic field availability and variables, we're going to discuss the athletic field inventory, how fields are scheduled, and the uses of athletic fields in Arlington. Arlington County classifies athletic fields into 3 different categories. Diamond fields are used for diamond sports competitions including baseball, softball, and kickball. Occasionally, diamond fields can also be used for practices for other sports including soccer and flag football. Rectangular fields can be used for rectangular sports competitions including soccer, lacrosse, field hockey, rugby, and ultimate frisbee. Combination fields are fields that can be used for both diamond and rectangular competitions, but not at the same time or in the same season. Further information regarding diamond, rectangular, and combination fields is listed on this slide. This chart, found in the PSMP, demonstrates the average hours of play per year on fields with natural grass, synthetic turf, and athletic field lighting. You will see on this slide that the hours of annual play increase from natural grass fields without athletic field lighting to synthetic turf fields with athletic field lighting. Currently, Arlington County has 3 athletic field permit classifications. Permits are issued by DPR once a field reservation has been made. 77 of Arlington's 96 athletic fields are permit takes priority fields. This means that permit holders or groups that have made reservations with the Department of Parks and Recreation have priority use of the field. If a permit holder is not present, the field is open for use. 13 of Arlington's 96 athletic fields are classified as permit-only fields. This means that only permit holders may use this field. 6 of Arlington's 96 athletic fields are drop-in fields. While sometimes these fields are scheduled for games or practices, they are primarily left unscheduled for community drop-in use. In 2018, DPR completed a public process to create a first draft of athletic field allocation guidelines. These guidelines govern the use of athletic fields in the county. The guidelines include multiple areas of focus. The two most used areas are the tiered priority scheduling process and definition of primary and secondary seasons. Visit the link in the PDF version of these slides to learn more about the athletic field allocation guidelines. Following the allocation guidelines engagement process in 2015, the following priority system was instituted for allocation of athletic field space. DPR has followed this process since inception. First, Arlington Public Schools receives space for interscholastic athletic activities, including games and practices. APS receives this space through Memoranda of Agreement, or MOAs, with the county. Second, Arlington resident youth nonprofit groups receive athletic field allocations. This includes groups like Arlington Soccer Association, Arlington Little League, and Arlington Lacrosse. Third, Arlington resident adult nonprofit groups receive athletic field allocations. This includes adult softball leagues run by the county and adult soccer leagues. Fourth, Arlington resident for-profit youth groups. And last, other groups, including individual rentals or organizations like Orange Line Sports, receive athletic field allocations. In addition to the athletic field allocation guidelines, the county has agreements with multiple entities that receive athletic field space through different agreements with the county. The chart below indicates athletic field space allocated to Arlington Public Schools in the spring and fall seasons. This does not include games or special events. At Barcroft Park Field Number 6, the George Washington University receives priority scheduling for their investment of over $10 million in the baseball stadium facilities at Barcroft Park. At Longbridge Boeing Field Number 1, Marymount University received priority scheduling for men's and women's soccer and men's and women's lacrosse for their investment in the facility. This slide indicates Tier 1 organizations in the athletic field allocation guidelines that receive first priority athletic field space through the Department of Parks and Recreation. DPR issues field permits to these groups after allocating space to Arlington Public Schools, George Washington, and Marymount Universities. After allocating space to external partners and youth partner organizations, DPR then allocates athletic field space to leagues run by the Department of Parks and Recreation, including youth flag football, adult softball, and adult soccer leagues. Now that we have reviewed athletic field uses, classifications, and the allocation process, it is time to start building the athletic field availability framework. To review, the purpose of this process is to build a framework for athletic field availability and ultimately inform athletic field utilization. Two other areas that will inform availability are field scheduling variables and an updated definition of drop-in time or drop-in fields. Next, we will look at three specific areas of field scheduling that will help build the athletic field availability framework. It is important as we move through the remainder of this presentation and throughout the rest of the athletic field availability and utilization process that we are using common terms throughout discussion. The focus of the remainder of this presentation will be on three areas: athletic field classification, or in other words, What age groups can play on this field? Activity start times, when can play start on this field? And activity end times, when can play end on this field? As you learned earlier in this presentation, 6 fields in Arlington are classified as drop-in fields. To more clearly define athletic field availability, we must first review the drop-in field classification. The list of current drop-in fields is in the chart on the right side of this slide. To update the field's designation, we must consider multiple factors that can inform drop-in fields or drop-in time, such as location, field size, season, and more. Another variable that will build the athletic field availability framework is field classification by age group. We know that different age groups are affected by different factors and need a better idea of benefits and limitations offered by different fields. What factors should be considered when scheduling start times on athletic fields, and how do they apply to different age groups or days of the week? Some factors could include school times, coaching availability, type of sport, and more. The clocks on this slide will be used in the engagement tool following this presentation to provide feedback on activity start times. Similarly, what factors should be considered when scheduling end times on athletic fields, and how do they apply to different age groups or days of the week? Some factors could include pickup times, family obligations, other extracurricular activities, or more. Creating agreed-upon athletic field end times based on sunset is a critical piece of creating an athletic field availability framework. Sunset is a major factor when determining activity end times, especially on fields without lights. The chart on the right of this slide indicates sunset times in 2019. This will help you answer the engagement questions following this presentation. Thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation. Please click on the link in the Athletic Field Availability and Utilization webpage to move to the feedback form. It may be helpful to review this presentation as you complete the feedback exercises.